I've never been one to scare easily. Growing up in the city, you get used to strange noises and occasional power outage. But what happened last night was different. What happened last night has me questioning everything I thought I knew about fear. I live in an old house, one of those charming fixer-uppers that real estate agents love to talk up. It's got character, they say. What they don't mention is that character often comes with creaky floors, drafty windows, and an ancient electrical system that likes to act up at the worst times. It was late, probably around midnight, and I was alone. My wife was out of town on a business trip, and our two kids were staying with their grandparents for the weekend. The house was unusually quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you aware of every little sound. I was in the living room, catching up on some work, when the lights flickered. I sighed, thinking it was just another quirk of the old wiring. But then they flickered again, this time staying off for a few seconds before coming back on. I figured I'd better check the circuit breaker in the basement. I grabbed the flashlight from the kitchen drawer and headed down the creaky wooden steps. The basement has always given me the creeps. It's unfinished, with bare concrete walls and a dirt floor in some spots. The single light bulb hanging from the ceiling only adds up to the eerie atmosphere. I reached the bottom of the stairs and aimed the flashlight at the breaker box on the far wall. As I walked towards it, I noticed something odd. The light bulb, which was off when I came down, flickered on for a moment and then went out again. I cursed under my breath and continued to the breaker box, opening it and inspecting the switches. Everything seemed fine, no tripped breakers. I flipped the main switch off and on again just to be sure, but the light bulb remained off. I turned around to head back upstairs, and that's when I saw it. A shadow, darker than the surrounding darkness, moving in the corner of my eye. I spun around, the flashlight beam cutting through the gloom, but there was nothing there. Just the usual clutter of old boxes and unused furniture. I tried to shake off the unease, telling myself it was just my imagination. But as I started up the stairs, the light bulb flickered on again, casting long distorted shadows on the wall. I stopped, feeling a chill run down my spine. I turned back to face the basement, the flashlight trembling in my hand. "Is anyone there?" I called out, my voice echoing off the concrete. Silence. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, waiting for something, anything, to happen. The light bulb flickered once more, then went out for good. I took a deep breath and forced myself to move. As I reached the top of the stairs, I heard a sound that made my blood run cold. It was a faint whisper, barely audible, but unmistakably real. It was coming from the basement. I slammed the door shut and locked it, my heart pounding in my chest. I backed away slowly, keeping my eyes on the door, half expecting it to burst open, but it didn't. The whispering stopped, leaving me in an oppressive silence. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, every light in the house turned on, listening for any signs of movement. The house remained quiet, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. The next morning, I called an electrician to check the wiring. He found nothing wrong, of course. Everything was in perfect working order. My wife and kids came back later that day, and I didn't tell them what happened. I didn't want to scare them, but I can't forget it. Now, every time the lights flicker, I feel the same chill, and sometimes, late at night, I think I hear that whispering again, coming from the basement. I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure I want to find out. All I know is that something is down there, something that shouldn't be.